Welcome. Today's lesson is going to be on how to actually register online. It's one of the most important integrity sessions that you can watch in the Freshman Academy. One of the things that you want to do as a freshman here at Lawson State, is to learn as much as you can, especially about our processes, and especially things that relate to registering you in your classes. One of the things that you may recall when you first came to Lawson State is that you probably went through compass testing. You may have had to go through orientation, and people sat with you and walked through, which courses you're going to take. All students follow a degree plan here at the college, and if you ever need a copy of your degree plan, you know that you can go to the student suite and access a copy of your degree plan. If you are viewing this particular presentation before you've watched the integrity session on the student suite, you really need to stop watching this right now and go ahead and watch the really short video on integrity session on student suite and how to access that first, okay? So that's the first thing I want to tell you, and then you can come back and watch this one. But one of the things I want you to also be aware of is that your degree plan is also located within the student catalog, okay? For the more detailed information is in there. So we're going to work on how to register online step by step, and I'm going to walk you through that process. So the first thing you need to do is click on the student suite. Once you click on student suite, you're going to put in your student ID number or your social security number, and your PIN number is your date of birth, but remember it's 2 digits for each. 2 digits for the month, 2 digits for the day, and 2 digits for the year. And once you've done that, click on Login, and it's going to take you to your page just like we discussed in the previous integrity session. Now what I want you to do is scroll down, and you know that you're in the Student Information Center, and it houses all kinds of information like about your degree plan and your schedule. And speaking of degree plan, there it is, and your schedule and financial aid information. But it also houses the registration site for you to actually register and pay online. And that's why it's so important for you to be aware of this. You do not have to stand in line to register. We still encourage you to talk with your advisor, but your advisor is not responsible for registering you. They're responsible for advising you. We are equipping you with the skills to register yourself. So you go ahead and click on, under Scheduling, Registration. And once you do, it's going to take you to a very important page, and that is the Modify My Information page. It is very important that you actually look at the information we have on record for you, because addresses change, you move, phone numbers change, or you may lose your cell phone. That number may change. So this is a way that we send you information by mail, and we also call you on occasion. And this is the information that your faculty members will have in their roll books. So it's important that this information is up to date. So check the information first, make sure it's correct. If you see an error, just fix it. So after you've checked everything, you've cleared and make sure that we don't have any mistakes and that your emergency contact information is there, go ahead and click Continue to Register. Once you do, that'll take you to this page, which is, it looks like it's not a lot of information on it, but it really is a lot of information on it. First thing I want you to do is make sure you're registering for the correct term. When you're in pre-registration mode, typically you're registering for the semester in front of us. So that means that, let's say that it's the summertime, but you're registering for the fall. Or maybe you're registering in October, but you're registering for your spring classes. So make sure that it's defaulting, if you hit that little button, to the right semester. So we're going to look at fall 2010-2011. This is for the fall term, for that school year. Now, no matter when you're, viewing this presentation, it doesn't matter. Just make sure that you have this selected for the right registration period. Now, you can do this a couple ways. Some students, when they're registering online, they like to go ahead and pick out their classes before they even come to this site. But one of the things that I like to tell students when they do that, they need to be mindful that they're not selecting classes that are already closed. So what I prefer to tell students to do is, already figure out what classes you want, but don't use the schedule booklet to pick out your classes, because or get the call numbers because you don't know if that class is already closed. Alright? So there's a way in this system to select your classes. So let's say for our sample student that they know they already need Math 098. Okay? They know they need Math 098. So we're going to select course here. I'm going to show you another way of looking at your courses. And let's say also that this student is an air conditioning repair student, and they are on the Bessemer campus. So the best way to do this is to select the Bessemer campus, because what that will do, that will only show him or her the Bessemer course listings. And so you see how that speeds you up? And also, isolate the math classes. So know what the acronym is for math is MTH. He's looking for MTH 098. So hit submit. Oh, by the way, if you only want to look for the math classes on a particular day, you can select math on Tuesdays and Thursdays, or math on Mondays and Wednesdays, or math on Saturdays, and it will only pull up those math classes. But for this particular student, they want to see all of the math classes, okay? But actually, let's see, I'm going to go 098, there we go, we're going to isolate it even further. All of the Math 098 classes on the Bessemer campus. And see how that shrinks it and makes it a little bit more manageable for you? Now, the other thing we're going to look at is the fact that if you don't see a link, see how these are kind of grayed out and dark, but this is blue? This is showing you all the closed classes. See how it says closed right here? And the ones that have the blue hyperlinks, those are your open classes. And that's why I like for students to register online, because you have, we're equipping you with the information of how to put your schedule together. So this student is a student looking for mini-term 2 classes, so they see one and they're going to select the 52-55 class. Notice that when he or she selected it, it popped right in. But it doesn't mean it's selected. It will not be selected until you select Add Course. So if you notice, the class pops in and he or she was successful in loading this course on their schedule. See how simple that was? So we're going to do the next one. The next thing on their degree plan that they would like to take is reading. And they're a Reading 085 students. So we're going to hit Select Course again. And we're going to use the same method that we did. Select the campus. Now, if you're in Birmingham campus, the West campus is the larger of the two on that campus. So the West campus houses ACAD and the academic building. That's where the library is. You remember that campus. The East campus houses the health professions classes and barbering and cosmetology and auto body. So those are those campuses. All right. So we're going to select Bessemer. And we're going to select, we said reading, so RDG. Scrolling down, we found reading. And we're going to select Reading 085. It just helps us to narrow the picture. So I'm going to hit submit. And great. Instead of me looking at the whole reading listings, and I'm going to show you that in a minute what that looks like, I'm able, when I selected the Reading 085, just to focus on Bessemer Campus Reading 085 courses. So I see that everything is closed except this one class, so that's all I have left. So I'm going to take this Saturday class. It is, here's my teacher, right? And I'm going to select it. 6598, and I'm going to add this course. Okay, and it's not letting me add. And so it didn't like my selection. I believe it was a conflict. So the great thing about this system is that if something doesn't work with your schedule, what it will do, it will pop up what your choices are and give you some other options. So I'm going to try this one, and I'm going to switch campuses. Now I love what I'm doing here. Now notice, students, this student could not take the class on his preferred campus. So he's thinking, well, you know what, I really need to take the class, and I can take it on the Birmingham campus, so that's what I'm going to do. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to select this one, 6501, because he really wants it, or she really wants it on her schedule, and we're going to hit add. So it's really your choice. You can float between campuses, and this student decided to do that. You don't have to do that, but this student said, look, I want to take the course, and I'm going to take it on the other campus. Alright, so this student is part-time, and they're not going to take, 5 classes or 6. So they're going to go ahead, and they only have one more class to take. And they are an ACR major, which is an air conditioning repair major. So they're going to go into select course this time. And they're going to select the campus again, and the department ACR. And they're just going to hit submit this time, because they're not sure which classes. They just want to look at all the ACR classes. And they're looking, and they're looking, and they're going up and down. And while you're looking, one of the things they're looking for is, okay, that class is closed, this class is open. Most of these are open, and they're just kind of scrolling down. And that's really what you'll do. You'll look at the times, and you're trying to figure out your schedule. Okay? So they've selected this one, the 20050. And I selected this course to show you what happens when someone picks a class out of their degree plan. So let's pay attention to the pop-up window that's about to pop up. It reads, a pop-up window, the following conditions exist. The course you have selected is not in your degree plan, and may not qualify you for financial aid. Developmental courses may be an exception. Please check with your advisor. So if you try to register for a developmental course and it says that it's not on your degree plan, don't be alarmed. Financial aid typically will cover developmental courses. But in this case, notice that it allowed this student to register in the ACR air conditioning course, but a pop-up screen popped up and said, hey, this is not your major. Now the student is thinking, well, wait a minute, ACR is my major, so that's an indicator that something is wrong. Maybe the student changed their major and forgot to change it back in the registrar's office. They may have told their advisor, but they didn't realize that they were supposed to fill out a change of record request. So in this instance, the student can register for the course, but they need to go to the admissions office and complete a change of record request. Alright, so we're fine. So we want to complete the registration. So we're going to go ahead and hit complete registration. Now, notice that it's going to show us exactly how many credit hours they have and how many contact hours they have. Now, normally you need 12 credit hours to be considered full-time. But in this case, this student doesn't want to be full-time, so that's okay. And notice that they are showing you how much registration charges are due. And this student has financial aid coverage, so they paid for it, so there's nothing due. Okay? When you want to finish, you can also print a pre-registration mailer, complete the registration, or say I'm finished. So you really have completed, and you want to say I'm finished. No, I'm sorry. Hit complete registration one more time. I just want you to see this pop-up window. It'll alert you. Your financial aid coverage is 100%. Would you like to complete your registration at this time? I just wanted you to show you that it will take you to that window to let you know everything is okay. Registration has been completed. However, you have unpaid charges. You will be directed to the pay charges screen. Okay. So, in this situation, it looks like we have insurance that financial aid is not covering for us. Okay. So you can either put apply financial aid, or you can pay selected charges. So let's say that you're not a financial aid student and you need to pay this. So I'm going to go to pay selected charges. Now, the reason why I went here is because I want to show those students who may not have financial aid how to pay for any charges. Let's say that it's more than $20. Let's say that it's $100, $1,000, and $1,500, and you're going to charge it. You're not a cash paying financial aid student. You're actually a student who's paying by credit card. So you simply fill out the information and your address. Okay, and of course the city. And you know the rest. And also you put in your Visa or MasterCard or Discover or American Express information, and you go ahead and hit submit, and that will actually process. Okay? In this case, since this is a dummy student, I can't really take you through the process. But just make sure whenever you're paying, you hit submit, and then the next window you make sure you hit any other icons that may say process or submit to make sure you have a full receipt. So I'm going to go ahead and hit cancel, and it'll take me back here, and I'm going to say apply financial aid. I just wanted to demonstrate that you can actually pay by online. Now, at this point, what I did was I told them to use my financial aid to pay for my insurance, and so it says you have no outstanding charges, and I'm going to hit return. Once I've done that, I have completed the process. Okay? Let me see if I can get out of this loop. You have no outstanding charges, and that's it. At that point, processing is complete, and I can log out. And that's what I'm going to do. And you have just walked through your first experience in online registration. It is extremely important, students, that you use online registration, and that you work with your facilitators if you have any problems, or of course your advisors. Also, don't forget to use other students in your Freshman Academy class if you have any trouble. You don't have to do this alone. You can work with students who have registered online before, or even senior students that you find on campus, friends of yours, to help you through the process. We hope that the Academy is helping you as you matriculate through Lawson State. Thank you.